You made the best decision at the time with the info you had. Now let it go. Your trauma isn't your fault, but it's your responsibility to handle it. It really helps you get out of the victim state of mind and be like, yeah, fuck, I gotta get better. Even if you were the victim, you can't act that way forever. You're the only person who can make yourself better, you just have to finally realize it and understand it. I don't value your opinion enough to care what you think of me. If you have a problem with me, call me. If you don't have my number, we're not close enough for you to have a problem with me. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? My husband once told me to stop making decisions based on fear, and that was a real eye-opener for me. Don't listen to what they say, instead watch what they do. Don't light yourself on fire to warm other people. It was especially impactful during my struggle with anxiety, stress, and panic disorder. Not every breakup is a failure. People always judge a relationship by how it ends, not by how it was. Sure, maybe the breakup was awful, but are you going to tell me that most of the relationship was bad? That's like judging a life by how it ends, instead of how it was. That which you do unto the least of my people, that you do unto me. I was taught that was in the Bible, but I'm not religious, so I'm not sure, lol. The point is, don't treat people like shit just because they're vulnerable or in a worse position than you. Also, try not to pat yourself on the back for being kind to the cleaning lady. Being kind and polite should be normal, you don't deserve a cookie for being a decent human being. You don't need to be great to start, but you need to start to be great. The 3 requirements for happiness are having something to look forward to, something to be proud of, and something to do. You can't pour from an empty cup. It sounds selfish at first, but taking care of your own well-being is crucial if you want to support others effectively. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Achieving goals requires conscious action, not constant deliberation. To have something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. Don't worry about what other people think of you because they're too busy worrying about what people think of them to think about you. Live in the present. This advice may seem cliché, but its true value becomes apparent when you truly understand and practice it. Focusing on the present moment can reduce stress, increase happiness, and improve overall well-being. It allows you to fully experience life, make better decisions, and appreciate what you have right now. Never stop learning. I used to hear this all the time when I was in university. Back then I only focused on its application to academics, but this statement goes well beyond that. It can apply to general life skills such as learning a new DIY skill. Happiness is a choice. It seems simplistic, but actively choosing to focus on positivity and gratitude can significantly improve your mood and outlook on life. I am a software developer, so I spend over 8 hours a day looking at a screen. I started having severe tiredness and mild depression, and this lasted a couple of years. No matter how much sleep I got, it didn't help. Eventually, I found out that it could be eye strain. I started resting my eyes every 30 minutes, focusing on something around 20 feet away. If I was using my phone, I kept it at a reasonable distance. A few days later, all of my symptoms disappeared. I stopped being scared of failing at my hobbies or finding the learning process too difficult. I just say fuck it and jump in. It's art at the end of the day, so however it turns out is how it turns out. I dreamed for years of experimenting with making music, but was always intimidated by the expensive setups and the tedious learning process. About a year ago, I slowly started teaching myself modular synthesis, and when I'm creating, I feel so free and happy. Understanding that working with someone smarter than you is both a privilege and an opportunity to learn and hone your own skills, not a threat. In my early 20s, I learned it was okay to say I don't know instead of pretending I knew what someone was talking about. People are excited to share what they know. It's such a simple thing that led to a lot of professional and social growth for me. Being intentional about where my mind is going and whether it's constructive or not. What's helped me when I catch myself doing this is to turn whatever I'm negative about into a thankfulness exercise. E.g., goddamn traffic, does no one know how to drive? 2. I'm not in a rush and it's a beautiful day. I'm thankful to this person for not turning right after stopping at a red when they can and should, for slowing me down and letting me appreciate the sun. Not always easy, and I don't always succeed. It's practice, though, and I'm getting better at it. It helps adjust my perspective to something that at least feels less shitty. Paying attention to my diet and eating healthy, working out regularly, and stretching. My physical and mental health has improved drastically. I didn't even know how crappy I felt at the time, and it's only in hindsight that I can see how awful my gorging and sloth made me feel. Moving out of my hometown. I never felt like where I was from was home. I was never comfortable and kept hitting hurdles trying to come up and be better. But once I left, my entire life trajectory changed for the better. For me, one of the most frustrating aspects is feeling like I'm still a teenager at times, unsure of how to be a grown-up. Even though I've reached an age where society expects me to have it all figured out, there are days when I still feel lost and overwhelmed by the responsibilities of adulthood. Balancing work, personal life, and self-care can seem daunting, and the pressure to appear competent while grappling with these uncertainties is both exhausting and frustrating. It's a constant struggle to reconcile the expectations of adulthood with the lingering sense of insecurity from my younger years. Anyone else feel this way? I worked hard in my 20s, and my 30s started with a great sense of success and accomplishment. But at 35, life threw a lot of problems at me in most areas of my life, so all my sense of stability and success was brutally taken away from me. I'll enter my 40s next year with ears ringing, on psych meds, and struggling to come to terms with the fact that there's no such thing as stability. I now feel weakened, and that life has beaten me. I hope my 40s bring a better outlook. The most frustrating thing for me at the moment is realizing how much time I wasted being insecure with myself throughout my 20s. Literally, all I needed was therapy. Even with dating, I was always attracted to people who had all these toxic attachment styles. Now I've come to realize that there are sensitive people who give, just like me. I now avoid those who avoid feelings and like to call sensitive people clingy. I see them as walking red flags, but unfortunately, in my 20s, I would fall in love with them so easily because I was taught that that was love at an early age. You'll see your family and friends getting married or having babies. But on the other hand, you start losing people as well. For example, through death or estranged relationships with family or friends. Not having friends close by to hang out with. I have a few groups of friends, but I miss the days in my 20s when we would go out every week for drinks or some event together. Now we're all scattered across different cities, and our closest friends live a 25-minute drive away. But even they have busy lives and 2 kids, so we don't see them unless we plan at least a month in advance. We moved to a new city 2 years ago and have yet to make close friends we can hang out with. Feeling like you should be further along than you are currently. I'm approaching 30 next year, and a lot of people my age have bought their first home. I'm not there yet. I've been saving and actively looking, I'm just trying to find one that's right for me, and I haven't rushed it. They've married or have a long-term partner, whereas I recently broke up with mine. It feels like you're expected to have your shit together, but TBH I'm still figuring things out, really LOL. It's a weird one. I wouldn't say I'm not successful. I got a degree last year, and I have a good career that I'm happy with, so it's not all bad. It's just that sometimes your mind plays tricks on you, and you feel like you've missed the boat on a few opportunities and left it too late. Seeing your peers not grow up. Stuck in low mindsets and often hateful of the world. I wish them the best, healing, and the ability to smile again. I think a lot of people in their 20s underestimate how important their health choices are. It's easy to think you're invincible, but those late nights, bad eating habits, and lack of exercise can really catch up to you. Taking care of your body now can make a huge difference in your 40s. Been working out since I was 21, and now I'm over 30. It's insane how often I think someone is older than me, and they're just in their mid-20s but have already let themselves go. Your hearing, loud noise over time is damaging and not fixable. The character of the person they choose to have a long-term relationship with, or even marry. Single most important decision someone will ever make. You are not trapped in your job, career path, hobbies/interests, or friendships. You are young, able to explore and try new things relatively consequence-free. A lot of people in their 20s don't think about this concept. They just go to school, go to work, then wake up in their 30s or 40s and think, fuck, why am I in this position? Take the time to be cognizant of the path you're on and of what is fulfilling, interesting, and important to you. Of course, being physically and mentally healthy are patterns that are good to ingrain young as well, as others have mentioned. Take responsibility for finding your calling, and don't settle or become complacent with the first hand you're dealt. How long it takes to get good at things. For example, if you want to become a good writer, you will have to spend many hundreds of hours writing bad, mediocre, and decent texts first. The same applies to painting, musical instruments, any skill, really. And as you age and gather responsibilities, your available energy and time for such activities will generally only decrease. It is very easy to keep delaying this strenuous and sometimes painful process of getting good, and end up without hobbies or non-career related skills in your 40s. That might be enough for some, but it might not be for you. Skipping the work needed to sustain relationships. Friends in your 20s come easily. Friends in your 40s and up take the effort of a part-time job. If you're going to buy someone a gift, an experience is far more memorable than an item. If you have the opportunity to do something out of your comfort zone that doesn't put you in danger, do it. It costs nothing to be nice to people. It's not always easy to be nice, but man, it can be rewarding to know I did the right thing. Feel free to share your life experiences in the comments. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe.